The Joe Rogan Experience.
I think we have to accept on both sides of this combat sport equation that these are different disciplines. It's not, it doesn't make you a lesser MMA fighter because an average boxer can beat you and vice versa.
Right.
And now if you want to come up with some hybrid sport, I mean, I've seen people try it. I saw something like in the round, and I've seen different promoters try to come up with some hybrid. But until one of those things becomes a thing, these are just apples and oranges.
You know what would be the craziest shit of all time? The craziest shit of all time. If Tyson Fury says, I'm just going to take a couple years off and I'm going to learn MMA and I'm going to come back and I'm going to be the MMA heavyweight champion of the world and I'm going to fuck everybody up.
Well, I'll tell you this. The first fight, you won't find a place big enough.
Won't find a place big enough.
There won't be a second fight.
You'll have to have the first. You'll have to have the first fight on Earth. It would just be Destination Earth. Everyone is going to want to tell me where it's Stonehenge. We would all go. Yeah, but I think that that would be, is in terms of what people would be interested in, that would be massive.
Yeah.
But I think with Francis Ngannou's first leg kick, he would be like, oh, no.
Yeah, that's my point. Like,
oh, no, what have I done?
The interest exists, but the payoff is not going to be near worth the ticket price. It's going to be the obvious.
His fight against Dillian White was magical. It was magical.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's interesting to see a guy like that big, that tall, that is in his prime, and just deciding he's going to step away, which I don't buy for a fucking hot second.
I don't believe that he could resist the opportunity to fight undisputed and then really retire as undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. If that is presented to him as an option, and he truly believes that he can beat any heavyweight in the game, including the title holders at the current time, so whoever ends up with all the other belts except the WBC, I'm certain he has a
King's
belief
coming to fuck you up.
He can beat that person.
Yeah.
Him passing on that opportunity, I don't see it happening. He's too competitive a guy. It's too big a fight. And the seduction of being able to be that one guy that ever did that, he can't pass it up.
I have a theory, and this is not my own theory either. This is a theory that somebody labeled at me, threw it at me. I wish I could remember who told me this, but I think it's right. They said, now, he made his intentions known after the fight. He brings over Francis Ngannou and says, we're going to have a hybrid fight with these 4-ounce gloves on. That doesn't sound like boxing to me. Sounds like a hybrid fight. What do I need all these fucking boxing commissions? And I wouldn't need the WBC. And everybody's going to get their piece? The fuck out of here with your piece. I quit. I retire. Have someone fight for this bullshit title that you know is mine. You know it's mine. I mean, it's his fucking title, right?
Right.
So what are you going to do? You take it away and give it to somebody else? Everyone's going to know Tyson Fury's still around, but he just retired, so he doesn't have to pay you. He doesn't have to pay the WBA or WBC or whoever the fuck has the title reigns.
And to your point, he made that exact case when he came back the last time. It's like, no one's ever beaten me. I'm still a lineal champion.
Yes.
I'm still the guy to beat. And thus far, that has remained true.
Yes.
No one has yet beaten him. So if you put on those little gloves, I'm telling you, it's going to be an incredible promotion. I'll be front row. I'll hopefully be sitting right next to you. But there is no way that Ngannou wins that fight.
If it's just boxing, he's going to have a really hard time hitting him.
The smaller the gloves, the more trouble he's in. This guy is a gypsy king.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He'd just do hand wraps if you let him.
Yeah.
And it's only going to make it harder for Ngannou to stay awake. I want to see the fight. Don't let me fuck it up. But I'm trying to tell you, this guy's in a lot of trouble.
Ngannou does have the nuclear option, though. He really does. He does have nuclear one-punch knockout power. He has one of his knockouts of Alistair Overeem was one of the most terrifying knockouts I've ever seen in my life. He spun Alistair's head behind where he's looking at the back of his feet. That's how hard he hit him. Now, is he going to land that on Tyson Fury? It's going to be real fucking hard. But the problem is, what kind of hybrid rules are we talking about? Are we allowed to clinch? Because if we're allowed to clinch, Tyson's in a lot of trouble. Because if Francis can clinch you and can hold on to you and just punch you in the face in a way that's illegal in boxing, watch this again.
Okay, that is very impressive.
He does that to everybody. He does that to everybody.
But look at that.
It's what's terrible
From the hip,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's a Will Smith punch, man.
It's terrible technique in that regard, but he was doing it because he knew the opening was there and he was just winging it. That's not gonna work that way on Tyson Fury.
Absolutely
no
not.
chance. But he's not gonna fight that way on Tyson Fury either. He's fighting that way on Alistair because he knows that Alistair is, is not in his prime. He's just gonna smash him. He's trying to make his statement of being the top heavyweight contender in the UFC at the time when he knocked him out.
Last time I was here, I think, what were we talking about? Pacquiao, Conor McGregor, maybe. We were talking about some other MMA.
Yeah, they were talking about that for a while.
And
they were talking about doing that for a while.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to see it. Like, I'm going on record right now. Like, I have no interest in that.
I want to see it.
Small little MMA gloves and these two behemoths.
Yeah.
I want to see it, but not because it's competitive, but because that's how much a sucker I am for a heavyweight knockout.
Yeah, but it's even if it's not competitive, I want to see it be uncompetitive. I want to see Tyson Fury pitch a shutout. I want to see him lighten him up. I want to see the world. I want the world to see what it's like when the best motherfucker on earth at his given thing gets to express himself with someone who's trying it out.
Yeah. Full-blown destruction is what happens.
Unless they allow clinching.
Okay, but
If
they
they
don't have to
allow
allow it. In boxing, technically, you're not allowed to hold. That's,
Right, but if you could hold and hit, because you can in MMA, it's called dirty boxing. Guys grab the back of your head and smash you in the face.
Oh, you mean like...
hold on to you. Keep you in place.
No,
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you'll get fouled for that, for sure.
But that's not in a hybrid rule situation with MMA gloves. If Francis Ngannou gets Tyson Fury to agree to let him hold and hit,
like you could put a guy in a headlock and just...
100%.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you could hold on to a guy, if you could just get an overhook, and
Yeah.
just completely tie up that arm and just smash him in the face. If you could get him in a collar tie where you're holding the back of his neck and you're smashing him in the face, that's legal in MMA. That happens all the time.
I would say the closest, ironically, the closest I've seen to that in boxing was pretty effective and not entirely illegal might have been Klitschko Fury. Like, don't forget, that was a very clinch-heavy fight, and Fury was able to make the fight dirty boxing inside.
Made everything clinch heavy. Jab, clinch. Jab, right hand, clinch.
But only Fury was able to turn that against him.
Yes.
So even in this scenario, I get, okay, that gives Ngannou a much better chance because that's something he's skilled at.
Yeah.
But Tyson is not unskilled at that. That's how he won all those belts in the first place.
Right, true. And, being the Gypsy King, like those bare knuckle travelers are known for having fights bare knuckle. Yeah. That's the whole thing. They have a fucking whole culture behind it. They have bare knuckle fighting, and the Gypsies goes back forever.
That's what I'm saying. He's like,
I'm sure he's had bare knuckle
Mr.
fights.
Ngannou, don't throw me in that briar patch. Smaller gloves. Oh no.
I would love to see it, no matter what. And I love Francis Ngannou, so I'd like him to get a giant payday, and I think it would be an enormous payday.
Oh, huge.
Huge. It would be spectacular. Francis Ngannou versus the Gypsy King for the undisputed baddest man on the planet. Oh my God, it'd be so much money. That's what I want for Francis. And if it's little gloves, man, you can't fuck around with little gloves.